Think that if you're a troublemaker, you're bringing about change. You're bringing about change that you know is right in your heart. I knew I was a troublemaker when my ideas that I had as a fan were adopted by ball clubs, even though they went against perhaps the stodgy, conventional, traditional wisdom. You're 17 years old and you get to work for the Baltimore Orioles, and your boss is a legendary public relations director, Bob Brown, but he listens to what you have to say. And when you say, how come on the scoreboard it says scoring for you to put an H and an E, a hit or an error? But if you replaced scoring with the word average, same number of letters, and you could have the hitter's batting average up every time he came up. That hadn't been done. And you could put H and E at the bottom as a message. And we did that. When you say, I'd like to show the speed of the pitch, people are afraid of that. But we do at the San Diego Padres, and we become the first team to show the speed of every pitch and then the type of pitch. Well, it turns into a pitcher's board. Oh, I was a disruptor. All right. Um, I was a troublemaker, but Larry Lucchino and I were very clear in our innovations that we wanted to make because they came from the heart of a fan. The innovations that we brought to baseball, and we brought a lot of them, were done because we knew as fans when we sat there, wouldn't it be cool if they did this? Wouldn't it be cool if they played this song? Wouldn't it be cool if you had the players line of the year up on the board? Wouldn't it be cool if you had a sign that told you who was pitching? Wouldn't it be cool if the lineups were up the whole time? Wouldn't it be cool if you could see who's warming in the bullpen? Wouldn't it be cool if you had the speed of each pitch, the type of each pitch, the total pitch count? Those were influencing what was going on in the game. And those we introduced or reintroduced in the case of who's warming in the bullpen to baseball. We were at the Baltimore Orioles and we were designing what would become Oriole Park at Camden Yards. And the creation and the programming of the scoreboard, the video board, that was in my realm. And we had one of the greatest players in the history of baseball working in our front office, and that was Frank Robinson, undeniably, one of the best there ever was. And he was a wonderful resource to talk to. And I said, let me ask you a question. Years from now, 20 years from now, when you're a general manager, he goes, no, stop right there. 20 years from now, I'm going to be an owner. I said, okay, forgive me. 20 years from now, when you're an owner of a team, do you think we'll be putting the speed of the pitch on the scoreboard? He said, yeah, I think they'll come around eventually. Right now, they would say, "Oh, you're giving away precious information," but yeah, I think so. I said, I think so too. And so we designed the scoreboard to show the speed of the pitch, even though it was not yet allowed. But we designed the software so that you could. Well, we opened Camden Yards. The scoreboard can show the speed, but doesn't. And we're quite in the spotlight. Camden Yards started the revolution of all the new ballparks, and there are more than 100 in major and minor league baseball because of Camden Yards. Well, we moved to San Diego, which nobody was paying any attention to. The Padres weren't a very good team when we took them over. Well, nobody cares what we do out here. And so, yes, we started showing the speed of each pitch on the scoreboard, the type of each pitch. And I gave a young intern of mine that task of doing it. And he stood there with the radar gun and he's charting what pitch. And it really gave him some good insights into pitching. And he put those to good use when Theo Epstein was general manager of the Boston Red Sox, winning World Series, and then with the Chicago Cubs winning the World Series. But it started there in San Diego. I think that if you're a troublemaker, you're bringing about change. You're bringing about change that you know is right in your heart. And you may be alone in the pioneering journey, but if you find that there are people you trust who you can bring along on the journey, they may not understand it at the time, but eventually they'll be your biggest cheerleaders. And there's courage involved in being a pioneer because pioneering is a lonely road. But if you really believe in your heart in what you're doing, you're going to have no regrets.